Whack. Let's talk about that one.
Phenomenon's whack.
Oh my God. Go ahead, Katie.
Okay. Well, first of all, I want to say I dressed up for this because my shirt says, "Get in, losers. We're doing butt stuff," and it has a UFO.
Wow.
I wear that just for the theme.
Hella sexy.
Yep. So the phenomenon.
Something
This
like
documentary
a phenomenon.
examines unidentified aerial phenomenon with testimony from high-ranking government officials. And NASA astronaut Senator Harry Reid says it makes the incredible credible. 2020, not rated. 1 hour, 40 minutes. And IMDb gives it a 7.5.
Wow.
Tomato meter, 88%. Audience, 93%.
Wow. Wow.
Cheech.
Okay. So I think I'm realizing like I just don't give a shit about this subject because a while back Joe Rogan had some guests and everyone was talking about it. It's like, oh, this dude was talking about UFOs. It was so amazing. I listened to the episode. I tried to listen to the episode, never finished it. I tried to watch the documentary they were talking about. Every time I kept on falling asleep. I went to this one, started watching it, rented it. I watched an hour, and me and Christina both fell asleep. And then we were like, we'll watch it later. And then we tried to watch it today, and the subscription ran out. And I was like, oh, well.
48 hours, dude.
It's just boring. I think it's because I know what the ending is going to be. Maybe one day
There's
we'll
aliens.
find out. I don't know.
Dude,
it's
I
like
don't,
so
I don't
vague.
Get it.
It's
I don't
like,
get it. Just
I
because
don't get
Joe
it.
Rogan attacked he had somebody on and he was no good, and if Joe Rogan can't get someone who's good, then no one can get anything good.
No, I'm saying aliens in general. The subject is boring because they show you the same shit. I've seen these clips before. You know what I mean? I've heard these stories before. There's nothing
Did
new.
you know the origin and the whole thing about? I didn't understand how
What?
they declassified stuff, the way they talked about all that.
I know the dude from Blink-182 talked about that, how they just recently unclassified a bunch of shit.
Well, Cheech, where do you stand on aliens as far as your belief system?
I believe it. I believe everything they're saying in this documentary. So it's like, what the fuck? This is not blowing my mind. We know that they've seen shit that they can't explain. And this documentary
You tell me
just
you heard all
goes
those stories? You heard
next
all those
after
stories?
next after next. I've heard plenty like them that I've heard enough. I believe it. Show me the real aliens.
I mean,
Show me
but he does this with everything. When I'm like, okay, let's watch the Woody Allen documentary. He's like, I've seen pieces because Christina's watching. It's stuff we all know. We know all this
agree.
stuff.
Yeah, you get me now. I mean,
I've watched three of those episodes, and there's a lot of new stuff I didn't know.
Well, you don't know about him, so what's the
Sorry, I
difference?
know he's your hero, and you study him extensively.
He's not. I have not. I want to. I would like to see more of his movies rather than watch documentary about him. But what in this documentary blew your mind, or did anything blow your mind in this documentary?
I haven't done a lot of previous research or even delved into much at all. So
I was pretty stoked about this when like watching it, because aliens are among us, whatever. But one thing I didn't know is how basically we were under attack, or not under attack, but we had all these alien visits back to back, and I was thinking, oh, it must have been in the 90s or the 80s. No, dude, it was in the fucking 40s and shit. You know what I mean? Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
That shit blew my mind. Where basically people were printing this stuff way before the flying saucer. I was like, I wonder where they got that idea. Well, the accounts and these people, the accounts are great. I think they're like the way they recanted what happened, and I was interested. I was genuinely interested. You know.
I didn't know any of it about the nukes and how they go to all, like, they're basically like, just so you guys know, we know where all of your nuclear weapons are, not just in America, around the world. And we can disable them or fire them off at any time. I mean, how fucking scary is it? First of all, just to be, I mean, from what we know and what we saw in the documentary, it doesn't seem like they want to hurt us, or they're like here
Did you see
to
the part
cause any problems.
where they were talking about how they were surrounding the White House
Yeah.
for like that shit's fucking crazy. I was like, whoa, I didn't know that shit happened. I mean, everyone knows Roswell and Area 51, like the typical shit, but these incidences were not common knowledge, dude. To me, anyway.
Well, maybe that's
Yeah,
why,
the
because I've
Polaroid
heard
that guy took.
they talked about all that shit on the Joe Rogan episode. That's why maybe it wasn't as shocking. I had seen the images of the White House with UFOs above it, the nuclear attack, the guy locking onto the plane that UFO was flying by. So I feel like this shit's been out there for a long time. Obviously, it's been out there for a long time.
Yeah, the
since the
documentary
40s.
is old too.
Oh well, there you go. So
2020.
I don't know.
It's only 2020. I mean, just like, and the stuff with the kids in like South Africa or wherever that was.
What was that?
I thought that was interesting. Well, basically, like a UFO landed like at the edge of their playground, or like kind of in the woods, right past all the kids ran up to it, and there were like aliens that came out, and they communicated with them by just like telepathically.
Wow.
Whoa.
Yeah.
And just were telling them like, you guys need to slow down with the technology. Like, you're going to ruin everything. You're going to run out of air because
they're not so swift.
I don't know.
They know where our nukes are, but they don't know who to go tell this information to.
But then, like, the science teacher, like, there was a science teacher who was there, and he said that, like, he still in the documentary had his identity concealed, because when a lot of this stuff, when it would happen, the military of wherever the people were would come to their house or whatever, and like forbid them from telling anyone. They went to this science teacher's house, and they're like, tell us everything you saw, everything you know. And then he does, and they're like, okay, well, that actually didn't happen. You don't know anything. And if you tell anybody about this, we're going to tell the school that you were drunk, and you're going to get fired. You'll never be a teacher again.
Yeah.
Just like, damn.
Yeah. So why, Cheech, do you think that they're hiding it so hard?
The government?
Yes.
I think they don't know what to do about it. There's probably nothing they can do about it, and they would rather have it that people don't know about it, because it's a situation that they're currently freaking out about, maybe, or trying to figure out something to do, but obviously they can't. I don't know. They don't want the people to freak out, I guess.
The airplane, jet, fighter flights, whatever the dudes are, that didn't trip you out? How they were like talking about how crazy I was doing like these 45-degree like direction changing, and it just seemed like it was effortless the way they were moving and changing trajectory. Of their,
and they're so
spaceship.
Fast.
But again, I feel like I've heard it all before. It was interesting the first time I heard it. I don't know, but
you said it wasn't before.
What? I don't know.
You said it wasn't before.
I feel like all of this shit happened so long ago that this has been around for, like, all of these things were like from the 60s, 70s, 50s, 40s. Yeah, I used to watch that.
Yeah, okay.
Maybe that's why I've heard a lot of this shit too, because I used to watch Ancient Aliens and fucking Discovery Channel all the time. But
this should have been the opposite, though, Cheech. It should have been like, this is my shit. I know a lot about this is my shit, and they are right. And here's what. That's what we should have been hearing from you right now. You're a fucking expert on this, because it's like I'm telling you, it's like you gotta have a little bit of.
That's why.
because that's what we should be hearing from a host of a show.
It's like the big
because
no, this is a review.
Yeah, I know it all.
I'm telling you, it's whack.
I'm not gonna share it.
I mean, it's like watching another Biggie and Tupac documentary. We know everything that they're going to say is going to be said, and then at the end they're going to say, "I guess we'll never know who killed Biggie and Tupac." That's what they say at the end of every Biggie and Tupac documentary.
I know, dog,
so it's like,
really promote this.
I don't want to watch another one.
This goes into the mainstream. This should be your shit. You know this shit already. You should be like, yeah, I guess it wasn't interesting at all. Like, the whole subject to you.
You should and
blah. You know what I mean?
I think I'm over it. I want to see the real shit. I want to see like the fucking video of them walking around. Okay. I want to see real aliens. I don't want to see their ships in a distance on a small grainy camera. You know what I mean? Like it's like fucking Bigfoot shit. You know what I mean? Like I don't want
It's
to
not,
see
though,
the bushes
bro.
rattling. I
It's
want to
way
see
different. It's way
Bigfoot.
different.
Until I see
That's
Bigfoot,
It's not
I'm
even
not
close.
interested.
It's not close
Before
to the same thing. Bigfoot's
until
not
I
real.
see alien, I'm over it. Let's. I mean, there's no point in talking about it. They're too advanced. We can't even capture them on camera.
There's no point in talking about it. I mean,
What
I
can you
think
do
it's
about it?
interesting.
What can you do about it?
No, we're not like, how do we
Nothing.
solve the alien problem? We're just like, isn't this crazy? Like, let's, and how hidden it the government is trying to make it. Like, I understand what you're saying, where it's like, they're like, we can't defend ourselves or do it. Like, basically, we're defenseless and vulnerable to aliens, and they don't want to freak people out. But it's like, wouldn't people be more understanding if you were just open, or you think people are going to be too scared? And then you've got the guy saying like, I mean, he's like, there's so much more that you like don't know about that's not out.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like maybe it would terrify people. Then you've got Bill Clinton. He's like, I mean, I am a little embarrassed to admit I did ask about the documents when Monica, she was getting jizz all over that dress, and Hillary was
I missed that part. That's
sucking baby blood, and I was just asking about the aliens. That was a direct quote.
I think if
verbatim.
if that's, I missed that part. Fuck.
Yeah, you shouldn't have fallen asleep, dude. Do your homework.
If they ever do say aliens exist, then it's over, because then they admitted it. You know what I mean? As long as they just keep on denying it, then everyone can keep on denying it to themselves too.
Like,
I think
it was a weather balloon, guys.
Yeah.
We told you.
Yeah, and then there's a lot of people. A lot of people were going to be like, "See that it was a weather balloon. I told you, you're crazy."
Right. Cool.
I'm like, I want to see the aliens.
All right, should we just move on to Sex and the City then, because we have nothing to talk about?
Speaking of aliens.
Whoa.
What?
Illegal aliens.
I do want to see them too. I think. I mean, it sounds like we kind of already know what they look like, but I am curious about the outfits. We hear, coveralls and jumpsuits, and
we're pretty sure they're small, right? They're
child size,
child size, and that's all.
Little tiny footprints,
big eyes.
Big eyes.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I believe I would be terrified if I really saw one, but I kind of want to, and I kind of don't want to.
Something that wasn't discussed at all was abductions and probing. Where does that stuff come from? Is that total bullshit?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. There was this book, not a book, a movie out. I think it was called like Fire in the Sky, and it was like based off of a group of woodsy, like lumberjack dudes who were cutting down trees, were working out on a job, and basically they saw some crazy shit driving home from the site one day, and they saw a fucking spaceship, and one of the dudes was dumb enough to go outside of the truck, and then he disappeared this is a true story. He disappeared for like, I don't know, 3-4 weeks. And then he came back. They found him like on the side of he tried to call from a payphone, like out of a gas station. And then they went to go pick him up, and he was like naked. And basically they recalled this whole story about, the cops are trying to get to the bottom of it. And he's like basically trying to replay this shit, but he claims that he got abducted, and they fucked with him, and they sent him back. It's a true story. Allegedly,
they fuck with him, like play with his booty hole and stuff.
I mean, I don't know exactly, because they have medical experiments that they were running on him. Like he was laying down, he had these memories.
Good. Now shut the fuck up and spread your butt.
There were there were like these flashbacks of him on a gurney with like, aliens over him, operating on him, but from his POV, you know what I mean? So he's like looking up and seeing these bright lights, and so that's how the movie portrayed it. I mean, I don't know how his like story was, his original story, but he stuck to that. It was like the stupidest thing, because even the guys who witnessed this, like they were like, "Where's your fucking friend?" And they're like, "Look, we saw a fucking spaceship and they disappeared, and they're like, these motherfuckers killed them. You know what I mean? They were basically,
Oh wow, yeah.
yeah. They're like basically going, I don't know how the fuck, whatever. They're like, look, man, we're not anybody. You should check it out. It's actually a pretty good movie. Maybe we might recommend it. Hey, to alien.
What's
movies.
it called?
Fire in the Sky.
Fire in the Sky.
Yeah,
I'd watch
Sky.
that. I like alien movies.
Let's do only alien themed stuff from now on.
Wow, from now on.
Let's do E.T. and Fire in the Sky.
I was thinking we should do with our rule if you you suggest a movie that you have to rent. If you don't like the movie, the person who suggests it has to pay for it.
Dang.
If you like the movie,
No,
then you
because
pay
your
for
cheap
it.
ass is gonna say you don't like it every
No,
time.
that is not true. That's not true. If I like it, I'll say
I didn't pay
like
for it. I didn't. It was on my travel.
The show
channel
paid for
subscription. No, it was on my. I guess apparently I have travel channel, and then I hit the button, and then it just was like it opened up, and then the truth is
right now, Katie would be paying for mine right now because I
Katie
fucking
recommended this?
yes, Katie recommended.
Yeah,
this.
dude.